a nigga would. I wish a nigga would.
Welcome back to here, Padrino!
What's going on, man?
Back home. What have you been up to?
Oh, wow. Work. Whole lot of work. Finished my album with Cool and Dre. It's been a good experience. I've been up to that for the last 5 months. We recorded about 78 songs, so it's been busy.
But here, who I really want to know is how did you get into this game? Like, what from way back? You know, what was the inspiration for you to get into music?
I was in the streets, and one of my homeboys, who I ran the streets with, owned a studio in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I just started hanging out by the studio. I don't know, man, and something was just in me, you know what I'm saying? I just ended up doing it, you know, and it pulled me out of the streets eventually, you know, because I became more interested in music. But I'd always been into DJing. I've been DJing since I was like 14, you know what I mean? So it was just something that kind of faded away. You know, I got into some bad things, and then it faded right back in. So it was kind of meant to be in a way. You know
so what you approach from as a producer standpoint or from the artist standpoint?
Well, now I'm doing it from both. And then the artistry breaks down into several part pieces too, because it's not just the rapping anymore. It's, you know, the singing, the chanting, whatever. You know, I'm capable of doing whatever I think or feel.
Talk to us about the producer. How would you approach it? You wake up and say, I'm going to produce something.
I don't do anything like that anymore. What I do now is just think organically. You know, it's not like I wake up saying, okay, I'm gonna do this beat today. It's more like when I go to it's like whenever I go to the studio, we start from the thin air. We start from nothing, and then we generally go on based on emotion. You know, it's more organic that way. You know, you start from the emotion. If I feel like being rowdy today, then that's probably what you're gonna hear on the music. If I'm feeling, you know, like, you know, my girl, I feel like I want to be loved for the day, then that's what you're going to hear too. So it varies, you know what I'm saying? Production wise, we just let it be organic now, you know, unless of course it's just a project that needs to be done and they have a particular direction that they want to go in. You know what I mean?
So can you talk to us about your regimen? So you wake up at 12:30 a.m., p.m., sorry, you go to the gym, you sleep, and you go to sleep, rest. Talk to us about that regimen. You say at first you can't really get into it because you know the new experience with it.
Well, with BDA, you know, it was just a matter of getting him into the cycle, you know. In the business in the U.S. and the world market, it's very competitive. So people are up working while you're sleeping, you know what I mean? And they're working on their product, they're making money. So, you know, if you want to be competitive, your regimen has to be just as tight, you know. Timing is everything. So getting used to it takes a while, but once you get into that regimen, you know, it works out, and you start feeling more energetic, you're more creative, and then the creativity is not forced anymore, you know what I'm saying, because you know that's exactly what you have to do on a day-to-day basis, so you do it.
So how long have you been in this situation with Chaos Records and Darling?
Well, Chaos, the idea of Chaos started in the Bahamas. My brother and good friend, Ted K, you know, was down here for a few years, and we just two dudes that met, man, on some partying, you know, foolishness, and you know that ended up turning into a really good brotherhood. And he would always tease me and be like, well, man, what you really doing with this, you know? And I was just like, man, you know, if I had the means to do it, you know, and the backing, what I know it takes, because that's what it takes. Finding the right backing to support the structure, you know what I'm saying? And then he said, all right, let's do it. And Chaos was born.
How long has it been?
It's been about 5-6 years now. You know, and I signed with Chaos on the second year, but the idea had been in process for like a year and a half, a year and some change. But it happened, and then when it happened, I just started, you know, we started moving a little bit, you know what I'm saying, moving more, and we were learning as it goes, you know what I'm saying. We went out, we jumped out into the ocean with no life vests.
Looking back now, you said in positives, how has the progress been?
Slow but steady. And I say that because in the beginning, we weren't over there, first of all. I had to convince everybody that, look, this is where we need to be. you know, because it made, I don't want to make it sound funny, but it made no sense to try and seek international acclaim from a small place unless you actually go out into the world to seek that. So that's what we had to do. We had to go out into the world, you know what I mean, and let the world see us for what we were. And, you know, Cool and Dre just happened to be one of the camps that really stuck. And the chemistry was there. You know what I mean? It was just natural. It was there. And it worked, man. So that's pretty much what happened.
How has it been working with Cool and Dre?
Awesome. I've been blessed, man, to be fortunate enough to work around great minds that are known for hit records, that are known for Grammy records. It's a pretty good feeling, and it wasn't the first time. You know, I've worked with Mark Middleton before from the group Blackstreet. I've worked around some people, you know, before the Cool and Dre situation. This just happened to be a more solidified thing, where, you know, we knew exactly what we were going to do. We knew exactly what was coming up, and then we actually executed it from day one to now.
Talking about the new track, Soundboy.
Boinkers. Bananas. I mean, I'll never forget the day they played that record for me, man. You know? But Cool rushed into the room and was like, I got one for you. You know, because they were giving me beats every day. Yeah, Sap is the producer for it. And Sap sent it to Cool. Cool gave it to me. We recorded the song that night. And it was instantaneous. We knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I wasn't sure yet. You know, but once Cool M heard it,
that's the one.
That's all they needed to hear. And it was just, man, I got many records. You know, this just happened to be a record that touched with home. Particularly because it had a Caribbean vibe to it, you know, and it had a very hip-hop, dirty hip-hop sound, you know what I mean, that's been missing for a while.
I said it here, it sounds like that old Ghana 90s rap.
And I think people miss that. I mean, if you look at the culture now, everybody's rocking retro, everybody's, you know, rocking the patterns again, and it's all a cycle. It's all a cycle. You know what I'm saying?
If you can't tell us, what can we expect for the rest of the year? If you can't let go.
Heat. Hotness, man. Like, I got some records I'm really proud of, man. Like, we dug deep into emotion. We dug deep into my past, and into how I feel now, and into my family, into my children's lives, you know what I'm saying? So, you can expect really, really meaningful but hardcore material from me. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to bring back the essence of hip hop, but with an island twist, because I'm an island nigga. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know, I always reflect my music around where I come from. You know, in all of my music, you'll hear it. You know what I'm saying? I pick up the Bahamas in always every one of my songs. That's just how I feel about my country. You feel me? But, you know, you're gonna hear some raw shit, man. Raw. Just, that's all I can tell you about it.
Where can people hear find you on social media? Hey, you can find you.
You can find me on any social media site at I Am Padrino. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's YouTube, Facebook, at I Am Padrino. That's about it.
This has been WHODAT.